Um, to kind of back up a little bit and to give people a background on our relationship. So you tweeted that like I was one of your favorite mama bears, and I was like, yes, so
It's true.
awesome. I was like, I'm so honored. So that was really cool. And then a couple, I don't know, here I go again with like confusion of time, but a couple weeks or months later, we did something really cool together. So I will let you tell people what we got to do together after that Twitter introduction.
Yeah, we had to go on Dr. Phil together. We ended up in at Paramount Pictures in sunny Los Angeles, California, Hollywood, California, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
And we got to go after many COVID tests through the Dr. Phil show experience. I'm still taken by it. Happened on the exact same soundstage, or I don't know if they even call it a soundstage, stage, whatever it was, 29 or whatever, where Scrooged was filmed, which is super, Bill Murray, the Christmas movie. It's Christmas time now. It's like,
That's
it's
so
so
funny.
cool. But yeah, so we got to go on Dr. Phil, and you and I feel like maybe it's just me, but I feel like we really bonded sitting there in that backstage little green room thing, watching the episode unfold and I was looking over at you and I was watching, I was like, ooh, she's getting hot. Like
Oh
this,
my gosh.
that
Yeah.
guy coming out like just lying, tearing up poor Derek. Derek Wilburn was there, and
Yeah.
the dad from Colorado. I think he's from Colorado, and
Yeah.
he gets up there and he just tells the truth the way he sees it. And this
Mhm.
professor is just that they brought out is just like kind of making fun of him, and I was just getting madder and madder and madder. And I'm looking over at you, and you're kind of doing like the whole like, don't make me. And I was like, oh, I got my sister right here.
Oh my
Um,
gosh. Yeah.
and I was so mad by the time I got out there that I think that's probably why they're not airing it till January. Um, we made them look pretty foolish, I think.
I think so too. I am so with you. Like we definitely bonded. Watching it, behind the scenes and watching how they, make try or to make people look a certain way because I guess because they are the expert. And it was so insulting. It was insulting. It was just flat out lies. They don't. You realize these people don't have a real quest for truth. They just it's the ultimate grift. It is like the
Yeah.
ultimate grift, and you see this expert, perched upon his chair, and he's looking down at the little people, looking down upon us. That was a vibe, that I got from him. It was just very, I'm here, darling, and you're down there, and there's nothing you can do, and all of it. What he was saying, how he was saying, and how he was sitting there, his pompous, his self. It was all just like bubbling up, and then when he started talking about the common thing, oh, it's you guys are trying to make it a boogeyman, and it's not really being, you just don't want real history to be taught. I think that was that one part where I was like, I was on the edge of my chair, and I was like, it is you. You don't want real history to
That's
be taught.
right. That's right. That's right. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, it was so bogus, like strategically too. I mean, that this was done on purpose
Oh yeah.
because they have the professor, and then they had some other domain expert lady that's
Mhm.
not a professor, I don't think, something to do with education. And so
Oh
it
yeah.
was supposed to be a debate, and they brought out one person after another. So they brought out him by himself and lets him frame the whole thing, the professor,
Mhm.
the CRT professor. And then they brought out Derek, who's just this dad, right? He's trying
Right.
to read this stuff. He's read Delgado and Stefanchik, but he's like trying to catch up to this guy's a professional, up against this dad. And he's like, well, this is what's going on with my kids. This is what's actually happening. He's like, no, that's not what's happening. Gaslighting him right there on stage. And
Mhm.
then, they bring out this other person that's, the lady that's a domain specific expert. And here, I'm supposed to be our domain expert. I'm sitting in the back. Like they don't bring me out till the very, very end. And then
Mm.
they bring you and your friend Amy out. And,
Yeah.
it's like, this isn't real. This isn't real. What you experience, your life, like your lived experience and your children, like that's not real. You don't understand it correctly. Let me talk down to you,
Mhm.
and it was just, I was sitting back there just, God, I was getting mad watching
Yeah.
this, that it was, it was this totally And you know, of course, parents can talk back to professors, but when you're going to talk about something very specific like that, you know, they carry this kind of aura of credibility, and they've got, you know, all these they've got all these fancy words and things, and you know, they have had time. In fact, they've been paid for years just to read these books and be able to say this stuff in various ways. And so I was just thinking, you know, they brought out their expert first, and our side's expert, being myself, came out last.
Mhm.
And they stuck me in the audience instead of up on stage with everybody. I get it. There are only so many chairs, but that's a producer problem, right? And
Right.
yeah, it's like that could have been organized. Because if I would have been out there, and I mean, y'all did great, don't get me wrong, but if I would have been out there, like I would have been able to call out every one of his lives with citation in real time. Like I can quote from
Right.
memory the books, you know, and it's
I
like,
think that
don't,
was part of the plan.
I think so too. But then Derek, of course, brought